Hello. Today I'm talking to you about an issue that occurred in the 1920s. This was brought about by an act passed by the state of Tennessee called the Butler Act. Now, it was not the only one like it that was passed. There were several anti-evolution acts passed in various states in the United States, but all it said was you could not teach evolution in Tennessee public schools. There were several other states that passed similar acts, and they banned evolution in public schools. Now, there was a science teacher by the name of Scopes, and he had filled in for a biology teacher for about 2 weeks. And he utilized a book that had information in it about evolution. He wasn't 100% sure if he'd actually taught evolution, but it was in the book. And the ACLU was actually looking for people to have a case against this act. And this kind of originally started out more as kind of a wink wink, nudge nudge occasion where his friends were actually the prosecutors, and it was really just kind of, from what I can figure, it was going to just be a quick guilty verdict followed by an appeal to the Supreme Court. Because, well, evolution had been taught by the law, he was guilty. Now, they were really wanting to challenge the constitutionality of this law. And this turned into not just an attempt to overturn a law they didn't agree with, but this turned into a battle between fundamentalist Christianity and modernist. And you had some really big names involved. You had William Jennings Bryan involved. You had Clarence Darrow involved. Now, Clarence Darrow didn't really identify with either side. He was more of an agnostic, from what I can gather. But William Jennings Bryan was decidedly a fundamentalist. I actually found a newspaper article from the New York Times that talks about Bryan and how if he lost the case, he wanted to campaign for a constitutional amendment, and he wanted to put the Bible into the Constitution and make sure that this wouldn't be an issue in the future. Um, but this trial turned into an absolute circus. There were big names involved. There were people from all over coming in. This went from quick trial in a quiet little country courtroom, which is what they were going for originally, to an absolute circus. It was held under a circus tent. It was an absolute circus. And the thing that was going on here is just that you had two competing views. And it wasn't even about Scopes. It wasn't solely about evolution. I mean, the trial itself was over evolution, but it was more than that. It was whether fundamentalism was right or the modernism was right. And that was really the underlying cause of this trial. It was a battle between fundamentalist Christianity and modernist Christianity. And it wasn't the first, and it wasn't the last. But it's an interesting example of it. Um, and Christianity itself, fundamentalist Christianity, they really actually tried to put it on trial during this trial. Uh, there was an interview or cross examination, I suppose you would say, of William Jennings Bryan. And Darrow asked him about the Bible and about evolution and creation and all of that. And it was really more of an attitude of they were trying to put the fundamentalist view on trial rather than the law itself, rather than Scopes' actions, really. But that covers, for the most part, what I like to talk about. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you.